Hello Clix fans, and welcome to another episode of CritHitClix. Let's start up with the previews. The first preview we have for you this week is the Black Bat. She's a character from the Batman set, and her name is Cassandra Cain. If you remember, she used to be Batgirl for just a little while, and then I think she handed it on over to Stephanie Brown for a little bit, but not entirely sure. So Black Bat is 100 points and has a couple of cool abilities. She has a special trait that says immediately after the resolution of an attack where an opposing character takes damage from an attack by Black Bat, she can use Smoke Cloud as a free action. That's actually a really cool power. It kind of reminds me of whenever the ninjas fight and have to kind of like disappear, they drop those smoke bombs. So I think that's a cool representation of that. She also has another special power where she can use Quake, and when she does and rolls doubles, the hit characters are given a token. It's actually a pretty cool ability. It could come in handy against swarm teams and other sorts of teams like that. She starts off with some decent attack values, but unfortunately her defense drops pretty low towards the end there. Overall, I think Black Bat is actually a pretty playable character, and I look forward to using her alongside the other Batman Incorporated team members. I'm going to give this Black Bat 3 kicking ninjas out of 5. The next previews for this week come to us from the Streets of Gotham team pack. This team pack, I guess, is the Trinity, so it has Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Let's start off with Batman. This Batman has 2 keywords, the Batman Family keyword and the Justice League keyword. He can ignore hindering terrain and elevated terrain on movement. He comes in at 76 points, and he has a special ability that states, when Batman rolls doubles, except for a critical miss, and misses, if the target has 1 action token, it is a hit instead of a miss. And it's called, It's Necessary for the World to Be Afraid of Us. That sounds like a cool name for a power. He does not have the Batman team ability that grants you stealth. He starts off with stealth on the first 2 clicks, Smoke Cloud, 17 defense with toughness, and outwit. He is not terrible, but it does seem like there's much better choices out there already for other Batman. And with 2 Batman sets, I'm sure we'll get even more than we have already seen. So I'm just going to rate this Batman 2 Bat Dogs out of 5. The next figure I'm going to talk about is Superman. This Superman actually is not too bad. I know we just got another Superman with the New 52 set, and we're probably going to get more Superman later on, but I actually like this version of Superman. He's 196 points, and his attack value is not too great, but it doesn't drop below a 9, which is, I mean, it's not horrible. I don't like that he has a 2 on his last 2 clicks, but he does have range combat expert, so he can do up to 4 damage. For about 8 points more, I would just go with the 204 point version of Superman from the New 52 set. Unfortunately, the Superman does not have any special abilities. I really like when they make full use of the special abilities. I know they probably can't throw them on every figure, but it's always cool to see how they discover new ways to make the same abilities fresh. I'm going to give the Superman 2 Heat Vision Blasts out of 5. The last figure in the set is Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman comes in at 125 points. She starts off with Charge, 10 attack, 17 defense, and Close Combat Expert with 4 base damage. Meaning that if she can do a close combat attack and use Close Combat Expert, she can do 6 damage on her first click. Her special power for defense says that she can use Toughness, she can use Defend if an adjacent friendly character is the target of a ranged attack. That's actually a pretty cool power. I think it's a good way of representing her little bracelets. She also has the Lasso of Truth, which reads, Wonder Woman can use Incapacitate as if she had a range of 6. When she does, hit characters can't have their combat values modified until your next turn. That's a really cool power. It helps with perplex and things like that. Her damage goes down to a 2, which I think is really bad. I don't think either Wonder Woman or Superman, I don't think any of those guys should ever only have 2 damage. I mean, at least have 2 damage with Close Combat Expert or Super Strength or something, but just 2 damage alone seems really low for supposedly powerhouses of the Justice League teams. I'm going to give this Wonder Woman 3 Star-Spangled Trousers of Justice out of 5. Okay, the next character we have is Maul. Maul is a member of the Wildcats. He's giant and he's green and purple. For those of you who may not know the comic book character, he can grow, but unfortunately when he grows, he becomes really dumb. He goes on to have Flurry, Invulnerability, and a special power that says he can use Impervious and Regeneration, which is actually cool. He also has a power that allows him to have the giant-sized damage symbol and can use Close Combat Expert. So he has some cool powers, some cool abilities, but unfortunately his stats are not that great. For 113 points, I feel like there's much better choices out there in terms of like tank characters for Heroclix. He does seem like a pretty decent tie-up figure. I mean, he only gets harder to hit as you do damage to him. So if you can place him next to a stronger opponent, they're going to have a tough time taking him out. I'm going to rate Maul 1 sad brony out of 5. Now it's time for Comic Book Team of the Week! This week's Comic Book Team of the Week is the Inhumans. The Inhumans are a group of people that I believe live on the moon, or maybe somewhere else. This team consists of Black Bolt, Crystal, Lockjaw and Hairball, and Medusa. Now, Hairball is not a member of the Inhumans, but unfortunately he is part of the base. But Lockjaw and Hairball do have the Inhumans keyword, so everything's still okay. Overall, the team adds up to 462 points. If you also add the Inhumans ATA, then the total comes out to 478 points, and this allows you room to put the Infinity Gauntlet also on one of the characters and have 2 gems of your choice. So let's start off by talking about Lockjaw. Lockjaw has the Transporter ability, he has Phase Against Teleport, and a couple of special powers. His defense special power is Don't Hit the Cat, or the dog, really. Lockjaw and Hairball can use Toughness and Super Senses. When they succeed on a roll for Super Senses, after actions resolve, you may knock back the character 2 squares. This power can't be countered. So that's a pretty cool ability that allows you to dodge attacks and hopefully makes Lockjaw a pretty decent tie-up piece. The way I would use this Lockjaw is to have him with the Inhumans ATA carry Black Bolt, because it allows you to carry other Inhumans regardless of symbols, and carry Black Bolt into battle, and then have Black Bolt unleash his special Pulse Wave power. So that's Lockjaw and Hairball. Next up we have Black Bolt. This Black Bolt has a couple of things going for him. Let's start off with the damage special power, which says he can use leadership. He can use it normally, or if he's adjacent to a friendly character named Medusa and succeeds at his leadership role, he may instead remove an action token from each adjacent character that shares a keyword with him and add that many actions to your action total this turn. That's a really great ability, especially if you keep him close with the other Inhumans. I would say to avoid being next to some of the other Inhumans, because that will hinder his Silent Scream ability, and his Silent Scream ability says he can use Pulse Wave, he can use it normally, or you can give him a double power action to use it as a free action, and the damage dealt becomes his printed damage value instead of 1. this is really deadly because when he has these powers, he has 4 damage or 3 damage. So he can do 4 damage pulse wave, which is insanely so fantastic. It's a killer power if you can pull it off. He retains high damage value, and even at the end of his dial, he goes up to 5 damage, which is a lot for a figure. He also has Penetrating Psychic Blast, Energy Explosion, and normal Pulse Wave at the end of his dial. This Black Bolt has a lot of things going for him, and in this team, he's really going to be your key player. So the next character I want to talk about is Crystal. Crystal is a really good figure, but you have to know how to use her, and you have to be careful of other figures around you. She has a really great trait that starts off, give Crystal a power action, and choose an unaccompanied square of clear terrain within range and line of fire. Crystal can use Quake as a free action as if she occupied that square. So that's a really cool power. It's very unique and allows you to use Quake at a distance with, within her line of fire, which is 7 squares, which is a decent amount. And then she has a bunch of special powers that kind of boost the effects of that Quake. I really like this figure. I think she's great, especially for 105 points, but she does not have any damage reducers until click 4, and then she has toughness. As a whole, I really like this Crystal. She can do some decent damage at range, and if someone comes close to her, she does have exploit weakness for 4 clicks out of 7, which is really good. The last figure is Medusa. Medusa has a trait and a special ability. The trait says she can use plasticity. When a friendly character named Black Bolt is adjacent to Medusa, they both modify their attack values by +1, if not already modified by this effect. She has no damage reducers at all, and she can be taken out pretty quickly, but she's meant to kind of jump into the fray and attack. Overall, I don't know how well this team would do. If you can pull off that scream with Black Bolt, you're going to do great. I mean, I played this team once without the HCA and without the Infinity Gauntlet, and it did okay. Black Bolt was able to pull off his scream, and I was able to win because of that. But if I was not able to pull off the scream, I feel like I would have done a lot worse because of how soft every other character is on the team and how dependent they are on Black Bolt. Thank you for watching CritHitClix. May your bananas be soft and your plums be harsh. Bam! Take that.